So my sons, two of them, and a friend and a cousin went out to South London to a rave,
Mm.
and it was an industrial rave, so it was a big, massive rave. Um, they left. They left 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before it finished, so they wouldn't have been in the crowds. So they were walking off. They're gone. One, my eldest son went one way, and my younger son went another way because they were. It's where they were parked. They came in two different cars. So what's happened is now the friend has left his. As they're walking, the friends realise that he's left his phone with my younger son's friend who was driving. So
Mm.
they've run back now. He's run back to get his phone. As he's run back to get his phone, my eldest son and his cousin stayed there sitting on the wall waiting. He's run back to my youngest son and the friend to get his phone. So now he's got his phone. When he's got his phone now, they're doing Snapchat. By this time now, the crowds come out. So now everywhere's full. So they're doing Snapchat, messing around under their liquor. And then so my son now, my youngest son now has walked off because his driver now said, I'm going. So they've walked off to that direction, left the friend in the middle with a group of people that were linked in arms, taking photos, doing whatever not. And my other son and his cousin was on that side. So what's happened is now, because I saw the whole thing on CCTV.
Okay.
So what's happened now? The friend that's linked in with other friends got lick in his head from behind. So you see on the camera when he goes down.
Mm.
In that moment, when he got lick in his head, that's when that person got stabbed. So the person that hit him in his head, whoever was there, has turned around and stabbed that guy.
Mm.
So now, when and because he hit him in the head with one of them big, massive champagne bottles, so his head was hanging
Okay.
out. So it was quite serious,
Um.
but everyone heard it.
Mm.
So then my son and his cousin came running in, and then they got there before my youngest son got to him. So that means my youngest son would have been further than them. So you see on the camera, they reached to him first, and then my youngest son comes, and you can see them looking at his head. So what he's done now, the friend, is just run off, like,
Oh.
because so he's just run off. But in the camera, the reason why he's run off, as you can see from what I see anyway, that he's running off now, looking to see who this was. I think he must have caught who it was. Saw, I don't know, but he just ran off.
Mm.
And then my sons, because they're all friends,
Mm.
followed him, started running.
Okay.
So they're running around. This all kind of madness was going on, running around trying to find who this person was. And that's what really drew my that's what really got them arrested, is
Mm.
the aftermath, the running around.
Mm.
So anyway, they got arrested after. Um, they took the friend to the hospital. They drove him all the way from South London to Homerton. It's lucky that he lived, to be honest, because he lost a lot of blood, etc. And that was it. They didn't know that anyone had been stabbed. They
Mm.
didn't know anyone had been stabbed. So yeah, and that was that. So it was only like hours later in the day that they heard that a person had died.
Mm.
But this person that died didn't actually die from the stab wound. He died because he had a blood disorder where it wasn't, his blood wouldn't clot to be healed. Yeah.
Was this prior or when they smashed him with the bottle?
Right. So the person that attacked
Mm-hmm.
with the person that attacked with the bottle,
Yeah.
he's the one that died.
Okay.
So he's the one that got stabbed.
Okay.
Yeah. from whoever was in that circle at the time. So yeah, he died because he had the blood disorder. So they found that out later after.
So how many people were your sons with? Like, how big was that group of people that they were with?
So it was just that was it. What it is. So my son wasn't in the group. It was the friend that got attacked from behind. So there was a big group. There was loads of people because it was a big rave, an industrial rave, and now it's just full. Out there was just full up of people.
That's mad. So they had like literally nothing to do with.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's wild.
The person that has done it is on the street walking.
That's
they know
crazy.
who done it, and he's out there.
Yeah.
You know, but because of the aftermath, because my sons are not saints, they're known to the police. So, that's what got them arrested, because now they know who these. You know, they watch the camera and they see all the running around. They called it this what they call that when is it? Oh, it's gone out my head.
I forgot.
I can't remember. It will come to me. But anyway, they were running around, and yeah. So they were on the murder trial now. So now they were done for manslaughter, murder, and the other thing where they're running around. Huh? No, the same thing. What your son was up for? What are them called? Name them out. No, it's all right. They were just running around. There's a word for it, but it's gone out my head. Yes, so they were done for 3 counts. So now when it came to court, my eldest son got let off straight away. His barrister said, pinpointed, when did the murder take place? They reckon that the murder took place there and then when the friend got hit in the back of his head. So, because my son was over there on camera at that time, he was taken off straight away because his barrister was quite good. With my youngest son now, the police are saying they haven't got him on the camera, so he's in a blind spot. So they haven't got him on the camera when the murder took place, but they're saying that they're placing him there. They're saying that he must have been there.
But the murder's on camera.
Yeah, it's all on camera.
But they can't find him on camera.
He's not there.
No.
Bro, that's mad.
Yeah. So because he's in a blind spot, and then maybe because he's got criminal record already.
That's mad. But how? Okay, this is gonna sound ignorant and naive because I already know how the system is broken.
Violent disorder. Sorry, that's what it is. Violent disorder running around. So, yeah.
But how does a judge hear this? Like, okay, so he's not on camera, but the murder's on camera, and we're still gonna do him. Like, how does that work? How does that go through? I don't get it.
They make their stories up.
That's crazy.
They say from the time you mentioned, because they try to say they're gangs, they're in gangs. That's something that they put them in themselves, and then it's like whatever they say goes, because they don't have no say. Yeah. So they can make up their story, they can say whatever they want, and it just goes. You know. So yeah, that's what happened to my son. So I'm not saying he's a saint, but I know that he ain't no murderer, and he didn't murder no one. And I saw the camera, I saw the footage, I saw everything, and even the friend that got hit behind, because at first my son was believing that he did it, but in my heart I know he did not do it. I see the camera, and I see exactly what happened. So whoever he was linked with, or who was around him, has done that murder. But it wasn't the friend, and it wasn't my son, and both of them are in prison.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So what's have they been sentenced as?
Yeah, my son's been in prison 10 years now.
What?
10 years. He got 19 years, got life, and the friend got 21 years.
Damn. Is there like does he get appealed?
We appealed. They didn't accept it, so nothing happened. And then after that, it's like we just stopped for a while because it's too much. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cope. My son couldn't fight. The only, well, I shouldn't say the only good thing, but what was good about it for me in my case, even though it was heart wrenching, is that my eldest son got in trouble again when he got let off, and he was in prison at the time when my son got his sentence. And when it happened, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. And I just kept saying, God, why have you forsaken me? God, why have you forsaken me? That's all I said. I cried for like 2 days. And then my eldest son called me. He called me and he said, Mum, he was crying on the phone. He was crying. This is my eldest son, not even the youngest one. And he said, Mum, God put me here. God put me back in here because I had to hold Aiden and I had to just hold him in my arms like a baby, and we just cried. And then he said to me, and Mum, I just told Aiden that he has to give his life to Christ. And when he said that to me, that's when I just got the joy and the peace inside of me. But it wasn't nice. You know, and we was just crying. Both of us were just crying on the phone. But he had someone my son had his big brother there to hold him, you know, and comfort him, you know. Can you imagine the others that don't have nobody? Wickedness, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie,
So
that's
that's
wild.
what gave me hope and believe. My son, I knew that my son's got I know, I knew that God was doing something, and I know that my son. I know it's been 10 years, and I haven't really done much. We've been trying to get specialists for the cameras and all sorts of things. You know, we're trying to. My other son, because I've got 4 boys, so the middle son, he's the one that's been trying to get everything together. We're gonna go for an appeal again.
How
But
would
it hasn't been easy.
how did the other two cope with all of this going on?
So my youngest son, they're all right. I've got one daughter. I don't really know how it's affected them, to be honest, because it's just hard. Like,
Is it too early to tell? Well, I mean, it's been a while, but
it has affected everybody. It has affected everybody, but I don't know, maybe because of the way we grew up. It's not, families, you know. But yeah, it has affected. It has affected us. Even like my eldest son, me and him stopped talking for a little while because he ended up going back in prison, and I had to really talk to him and say, what are you doing? Your son is in prison for something that he didn't do for life, and you're messing about with your life doing stupidness, you know. So me and him fell out because of that. So there's been a lot of like separation, like we're not, you know. But at the time, we've come back now. I'm walking in my faith, you know, because I changed my life. I changed my life for my children. I wasn't a Christian all the time,
okay.
but I had to change my life because I saw, well, what's happening here, you know. And now I only met Pearls literally 2 years now, just under 2 years, I think, something like that. And when I met her, I just always knew in my heart that this is not going to be a small thing. It's a big thing. And when I met Pearls, I know that it's not just about my son anymore. It's bigger than that. And I do believe that this is going to be a big thing. It's going to be on the news. It's going to be everywhere. And that's what I believe in my heart. And that's what I always believed. After I had that conversation with my son that day, that gave me hope.